Welcome to this popular lecture hosted by Center for Translation at Hong Kong Baptist University. My name is Cixin Liao, and I am Assistant Professor in the Department of Translation, Interpreting and Intercultural Studies at Hong Kong Baptist University. So before we begin, I would like to thank you all for joining us in person today for this very special event. And today we are very delighted and honored to have a very distinguished guest, a truly remarkable Buddhist teacher, scholar, writer, and filmmaker, Dzongsar Jamyang Khyentse Rinpoche, Dzongsar Jamyang Khyentse Rinpoche. So for those who haven't heard about or haven't known Rinpoche about yet, I will just give a brief introduction. So Dzongsar Jamyang Khyentse Rinpoche, also known as Khyentse Norbu, is a Bhutanese Lama, a renowned Buddhist teacher and writer and filmmaker. And Rinpoche has been the student of many great Tibetan Buddhist masters, including Gaja Dingo Khyentse Rinpoche, who is pictured on the right side here. I really love this photo, by the way. And then Gaja Saga Chisin, Gaja Dongjung Rinpoche, and the 16 Gamaba. And Rinpoche is also the head of the renowned Dzongsar Monastery and College, and is currently responsible for the care and education of approximately 3,000 monks distributed in 6 monasteries in Asia. And as Rinpoche is also the writer of, the author of several books on Buddhism, many of which have been translated into different languages, including Chinese. So here I list a few of my favorites, including the first one is What Makes You Not a Buddhist, which has been translated into Chinese as Zhen Jian. And the other one is 84,000 Questions, 84,000 问, which currently only available in Chinese. So it's a collection of Rinpoche's response to many questions on work, life, relationships, raised by those curious about Buddhist perspectives on these topics. So I must say that Rinpoche's books have been a profound source of inspiration and wisdom in my life. So if you haven't had the chance to read them yet, I highly encourage you to explore them. And Rinpoche also directed several award-winning films, including The Cup, as you can see here, The Poster, Traveler, and Magicians, Hema Hema, and the most recent one, Pig at the Crossing. And I know Rinpoche will have another one that is coming out soon, Perfect God, so I look forward to another opportunity to have I already booked the film screening of that film, so everything is recorded in Rinpoche here. Okay. And Rinpoche is also the founder of several non-profit organizations and initiatives, including Siddhartha Intent, which is a global community that spread Rinpoche archive, Rinpoche's teaching, and Khyentse Foundation, which provides financial support for individuals and organizations seeking to make the Dharma available to the world, and 84,000 translating the words of the Buddha. So this provides a lot of valuable resources. So if you, I highly encourage you to have a look, and especially if I know many of you are from the translation class, so they may provide you a lot of insights and inspirations. And also Lotus Outreach, which is a humanitarian initiative that aims to empower children and women in vulnerable communities through education, healthcare, and advocacy. And also Kumarajiva Project, which aims to translate into Chinese from all Buddhist traditions that is not available in Chinese. And the Khyentse Vision Project, which aims to translate the collection of Khyentse Wombo. And Rinpoche has been recognized as the incarnation of Khyentse Wombo, who is an extraordinary figure in Tibetan Buddhism. Okay, and after sharing all these achievements that Rinpoche have achieved across different roles, I believe that you must be as excited as I am about the opportunity to learn from such an extraordinary figure who embodied both artistic mastery and spiritual insight. So without further ado, please join me in giving a warm welcome to Dzongsar Jamyang Khyentse Rinpoche. Rinpoche, thank you again for joining us today. And as the topic of today's lecture is from story to screen, adapting philosophy and culture through film. So, given your substantial experience in filmmaking, I think you already directed 7 films. So could you please share with us, like, what do you consider as the biggest challenge in transforming philosophical concepts, especially like the concept of bardo, into visual narratives on screens? And do you have any advice for those who aspire to work in this field?
Okay, well, beginning, I should thank you for enduring this, how many hours? 2 hours? I hope you had a good sleep at least. Challenge.
Yes, the biggest of difficulty.
I think the biggest challenge is something to do with the communication. And I believe that a lot of you in this university, you kind of emphasize a lot with communication, right? Communication, media, communication, etc. So, like, let's say I have something to tell you. I have an idea I want to tell you. Now, I can say whatever is in my head. It doesn't mean that you will get it, because you come from a different background. You are, I mean, to begin with, you are a different human being. So, I mean, not only language, just the mood also. Maybe you didn't have a good sleep this afternoon. Maybe you are, I don't know, you are not interested in this and that. Let's say you are not at all interested in a subject like this. And by the way, I should tell you, this film was rejected by 38 film festivals. So, if you are not interested, but I am interested to tell you this story. So between the communicator and the object of communication, you have to do a lot of negotiation. If I have an idea, I need to maybe scale it down to 50% to give you a space to make you interested to whatever I'm going to say. But of course, it is a communicator's right and the decision to, you can always make a decision. So for instance, if you have watched this film from the beginning, there's about 6 or 7 minutes of a wide-angle lens, and we don't know who is talking. And you know, there's a market, and then two people are talking. And then I kept that wide shot long, like 6-7 minutes. And probably most of the film festivals I got rejected. I mean, not only probably, I know this. I realized that when you submit to film festivals, I mean, film festivals get thousands of films. So the first stage, some young people, I don't know, will choose. Young people, sorry to say this, a lot of you young people, you don't have much patience. Maybe 1 minute, it has to be something interesting. If you don't catch the one person, one human being within a minute, you have lost this. And then I'm sure whoever is selecting the film is, okay, this is rubbish, put it in the junk. So I think there's a lot of negotiation you have to do. So even me now, I'm talking to you, and there's certain things in my head that I want to talk to you, but I need to be careful. How much are you interested? What will make you interest in what I have to say. And I have to make it interesting or not. It's all entirely up to me. And this, I think, is the biggest challenge for me, I would say. And I think this will always be a challenge. And I'm sure as a student of the media, you will have this challenge forever, I think. Because your audience are also going to change. Like our audience of the future, I don't know what they're going to, what they will appreciate. Besides that, I shot this film in a very, very remote place. And then also my cameraman, he has never made a film ever in his life. One good thing about this film, even though it's rejected and it's not really box office success, which is never my intention. Because if I want to have a box office success, then of course the story has to be, I don't know, very current, very definitely nothing to do with the death. Who wants to watch a death, about after death? You need to have exciting incidents. You need to really, I don't know, you need to be very juicy. You need to be very exciting. You need to be thrilling, so on and so forth, right? But anyway, I did this in a very, very low budget. So because this is a low budget, we are very relaxed. Nobody is giving us any pressure. No, we don't have to, sell it, so to speak, vigorously. So I'm just telling you that probably this is something that you might like to put in your head.
Thank you, Rinpoche. And when you talk about the rejections, it's kind of a pain that we don't want to experience in life, because even you don't want to sell it for profit, but after investing a lot of time and effort, we don't want rejection. And indeed, we received a question submitted during the event registration, which is related to that, related to pain. So the question is, Rinpoche, I'm reflecting on many forms of pain we all encounter in life, such as frustration, getting rejected, remorse, or the inability to get what we want. While I understand that Buddhist traditions offer the hope of a better next life, I am particularly interested in the path that we can walk in this life. With that in mind, could you share your understanding and practical guidance on how to face our suffering with wisdom, put it in its proper perspective, and cultivate a heart that is peaceful and free regardless of external circumstances?
Okay, I can use this film as an example, and talking about Buddhist concept called mindfulness or awareness. I've already told you earlier that even as I write this film, I had no expectations, no thinking that this is going to be a box office success. If I would needed a box office success, then of course I would, look for a Korean superstar. I need to make the story very, very exciting. So I know this is not going to be successful from the box office point of view. And I also know already, I'm already arranged mentally that even festivals, they may not watch it. So prepared, aware, and being mindful right from the beginning. And if it is being watched by people like you, for me it is a bonus. But it may never be watched. But having said this, and I'm sure many of you know, there are a lot of films that are very slow, very, very symbolic, and very, very, and I'm sure some of you have seen it, like Uncle Bummi by, I forgot the director's name, Tarkovsky's films, all of these are very contemplative. And I don't know whether you have ever watched a Chinese film called Elephant Sitting. What is it called in Chinese?
大象席地而坐.
What? Can you say it again?
It's called
大象席地而坐.
Yes. That one. It's just one of the greatest films. You know, it is just so amazing. Nothing happens much, but so much message, so much emotion, and you can feel for the people. So, you know, it really depends, I guess, how you timing, I guess, timing, and because sometimes, okay, I should say this, rejection, right? So, I think, I submitted these films, by the way, to the festivals, and I got rejected, you know. And, okay, for instance, Cannes Film Festival, reject me. But Cannes Film Festival, that year, on the year they rejected me, they gave Palme d'Or, the highest prize to, have you seen a film called Anora? Anora? It's, I don't know, for me it's one of the worst films ever made. But you know, also, festivals, you need to campaign. So many times you can make a film with maybe about $100,000 and you spend $1 million campaigning. Well, you know, that's just another, you know, see, this is another thing, right? I'm sure you know this. This is the way to communicate. This is how you go, and you need to really grab that. You need to grab this moment. Like Donald Trump, he gets shot. And he's so clever. And he immediately goes like this. I'm sure you have seen this. And that's a good catch of grabbing the, you know, moment. And then all these Americans say, wow, he's a hero. And if you look at like Kamala Harris, you know, like campaigning, her dress, her handkerchief, the light, and who comes first, what she speaks, all of this is staged. And to a certain extent, and we are also doing the staging, the way you put your hair, everything. Okay.
Thank you, Rinpoche. So we have plenty of questions coming online. So I just picked the one of the highest vote. Why the film background sound is silent sometimes?
Oh, I like this, and I have to say I copied from some directors like Andrei Tarkovsky, Russian film director. Sometimes his films are totally silent, and I like it because silent really gets some sort of attention.
So I also want to have a follow-up question on that because as translator, many students in the translation major. So as translator, we want to convey the same story as the director want to convey. So, but you know, everyone will interpret the story differently because the meaning can be shaped by different semiotic resources, including like the sound, right? So, is there like the silent sound is just a technique, unique storytelling technique, or is there any deep meaning that's behind it?
Yeah, that is the intention. That is the intention. I just want to add that for me, I will never be a translator. It is one of the hardest jobs. It's really, people don't realize this. That is very, very important. I think for the future of the world, we need a good translator. And when I say translator, I'm not only talking about translating word to word. I'm talking about really meaning to meaning. I was reading, long time ago, I was reading, you know, Japanese author Yasunari Kawabata. He wrote a book called Snow Country. Snow Country is so beautiful. And I was reading and it's so beautiful. And then I had my Japanese friend, he said, oh, you're not even getting like 10% of the flavor. Because in Japanese, it's just so beautiful. So I think think translators have a very big challenge, because you have to also translate. What do you call it? For instance, I'll give you one example, like subject and object, right? Subject and object. In the Western language, object is higher, right? You know, like, oh, that's objective. Subjective is, oh, that's a subjective, right? But I was told that in Chinese language, object means guest. Guest, as in the host and guest. Object or subject, right? I don't know. You should know, right? You speak Chinese. Something to do with a guest.
客, yeah, 客, guess.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, 客,
Yeah.
客观, yeah, and then 客人.
Now that is interesting for me, because a guest is someone who we respect. The whole notion of guest. So see, so the Western way of thinking anything is really, really different. So I think this is very important for you, because, okay, so nowadays we say the human beings have a problem such as mental illness, psychotherapy, psychology, psychoanalysis, all of that. And many times the treatment language is a Western language. So who is sick? Chinese are sick mentally, Chinese, or let's say a Chinese patient. But you are using the Western methodology, Western language. So I don't know whether it's working. So it's a bit like if you have a poisonous snake in your house, and then you are telling the world, I don't have a tiger in my house. Okay?
Thank you, Rinpoche. I think we will need to have more time to digest all these profound messages. Yeah. So I will just read another questions, and then we will give the chance to the audience in attendance to raise the questions. So another one is philosophy and culture are important concepts, and it must be difficult to convey them through films. How do you ensure that audience understand what you are trying to convey?
At some point you have to give it up. It's difficult, because it's an important question that you raise. For instance, there's a word called reincarnation. You must know reincarnation. What is it in Chinese? What? Okay, so I don't know whatever that means. Now, in the Sanskrit or a Buddhist language, there's many ways, but one most important is a yang si, right? So now that has a different meaning. So people who use the word reincarnation, the English language reincarnation has a lot of Christian influence. Christians believe in soul, right? Soul. Buddhists don't believe in soul. So when the Christians talk about the English language reincarnation means there's a soul that goes inside a chicken, and then goes inside the butterfly, and then it goes inside what? Tiger, whatever. So, but Buddhists don't believe in this way. So for Buddhists, the word yangsi means something to do with a continuity. Like yesterday's you and today's you, are they the same or not? They can't be same. Because if they're same, you never get old. But are they different? No. So, you are neither same nor different. You are a continuous. And a continuum is a very, very abstract subject. I mean, like, let's say you kill somebody today. tomorrow police catch you. Day after tomorrow you go to the court. And the judge says you go to prison. You can technically say, day before yesterday's me is gone. That's not me, that's a different being. You technically, you can say that, but emotionally you cannot. So the idea of reincarnation is quite, but as you may, I don't know what you have got it from this, but basically the person had an accident, but the force of the continuity is so strong. So he still thinks he's continuing. But because his body is dismantled, now he thinks and hears in a different way.
Thank you, Rinpoche. So I think now that we can open the floor for questions from our audience in attendance. So you can just raise your hand and we will have our volunteers to pass the microphone around.
I just want to ask a very quick question, which is very related to what you just been said about maybe in the sense of the worldly sense, not in the Buddha think, is that if not because of the box office, if not because of have a lot of viewers, then what's the worldly objective that you're trying to achieve for making these films and capturing the emotions? That would be my question.
As I was saying right in the beginning, I wanted to just communicate to some people. And I think I'm happy to say it has been watched by quite a lot of people. So at least it has raised a question. At least people at least know, oh, so that's how Himalaya people think about death. For instance, I think after people die, I think like in the Chinese, like normal Chinese, they also talk about ghost, right? Ghost. But from the Buddhist point of view, or from the Himalayan, ghost is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a continuity. So, it's just a continuity. He is talking, he's communicating. But he's beginning to realize nobody is communicating with you. So I thought those are important to, make people know. Of course, my intention is not like to prove that what we are saying is the ultimate truth. But I think it's good to know, good for people to know that there are different ways of thinking life and death.
Thank you, Richard. Any more questions?
First of all, I want to ask you that we know that in Buddhism there is lots of different styles. For example, in Tibetan Taoism, there is some methods that you can exercise to practice your physical body, and so that you can see something strange or you get some kind of magic power. But in some kind of for example, Taoists, they don't believe in that, or in certain way they kind of agree that, but they don't usually to interpret it. So my question is, since that we all know that the spirit is important in religion, and sometimes we also need to practice our body. So how is the difference between human physical cultivation and spiritual growth? Yeah, that is my question.
Wow, it's kind of complicated. I think spirit and the manifestation of the spirit has never been that central, crucial importance in Buddhism. For Buddhism, understanding the truth, it is paramount. You understand? Whether you understand through whatever means, it can be like what you just described, all of that, or it could be going to a temple, burning as incense, or go to a mountain and meditate. It doesn't matter what you do, as long as it takes you to the truth. And here I'm not even talking about some exotic truth. I'm talking about a very, very raw, simple truth, such as life is impermanent. And many times we know this intellectually, but emotionally we don't know. Because for instance, like if we are good friends, tonight when we apart, we say, oh, see you tomorrow. How do you know? We may not. So this is the central sort of aim, I would say that. The rest doesn't matter. How you do it doesn't matter. Okay?
Rinpoche, thank you very much for your film. I have one question. My grandpa passed away just several days ago, and I'm going to his funeral tomorrow. Thanks to your film, I'm thinking that whether he is now in his crossing. So my question is, what can I do so that I can help him to cross that gate? Thank you.
Well, you're asking a Buddhist. You know, you're asking me.
Yeah,
I'm a Buddhist.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I can only give you a Buddhist answer. Is
Sure,
that okay?
sure, sure. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good. Well, I will tell you, to make it very practical and quick, I actually have written something about it. You can actually download it, okay?
Ritual.
No, it is called
I'm sorry.
Living is Dying.
Yeah.
Living is dying. Because actually, for Buddhists,
That one, living is dying. How to prepare for dying, death, and beyond.
yeah, so in that chapter you can there are few things. You can actually talk. If 3 days, did you say?
Yeah, 3 days.
3 days, yes, you can talk. All of that. So I have written it quite clearly. So maybe you can do that. But I'm very touched that you think like this. And I think that's important. Because most important thing that you have, all of you, all of us, is called something called mind. Nobody pays attention to this. Nobody. The Buddhists, Hindus, and I think Taoists, they did pay attention for 2,000 years, 2,500 years. The West, Europeans, I think they only pay attention like recently, I think 17th century, right? They did not really talk about mind so much. But yet, mind is the most important. Everything what you have, you can chop it off. You don't want the left arm, cut it off. You don't want to have long hair, cut it. But the mind that you have, you cannot cut it. And you may say, oh, I'll just die. The death is just the end of the body. This mind is really tricky. So I think your appreciation towards the continuum of not only your grandfather, Yeah, not only your grandfather, but everybody. Everybody's continuum, the mind is really good.
Thank you, Rinpoche. And we can have time for 1 or 2 questions because I know students here will have class at 6:20, so we need to wrap it up at around 6:15. So we can only allow for 1 or 2 questions. Yeah.
Hello, nice to meet you. I want to pick up a brand new language while I'm still young. So, do you have any recommendations?
I do. Would you really listen to me if I do recommend?
Yes, I would.
Okay. I will tell you that this is my advice as a Buddhist. And I think it's good for you. I really hope you will take this. You should choose a language that is most useless. Useless. You understand? Because in our life, the biggest problem you have is always trying to be useful. This kills you. This is destroying you. You want to be useful. You want to be the best. You want to be the greatest. You want to be everybody. You know, if they think you are useful, then you are happy. Don't. Learn something useless. I don't know, Rwanda language or something, I don't know. Something that, you know, like, that is useless in Hong Kong. What it will do is going to really make you happy. It will really make you feel, it will stir your brain. It will stir your emotion. And I think that's what you need. But anyway, if you don't want to take this advice seriously, consider it as a joke.
Any advice for 1 useless thing, Rinpoche?
1 useless thing?
Off the top of your mind.
Oh, well. Meditation. It is, the whole purpose is useless. Try to get out of being useful. Okay, that's it.
Thank you, Rinpoche. I really wish we can only have 1 more question yet there. But be quick, please keep it brief, yes.
First of all, I want to thank for your film. And I have a question. Under pressure of life, many young Chinese people like going to temples, of course the Buddhist temple. I think most of them go to make some wishes, hoping to achieve something, and what we call it in Chinese, 上岸, which means getting a soul. As a result, we started calling temples the psychological therapist for today's youth. And I want to know your opinion about this phenomenon.
It's so good. So good. Much cheaper than psychotherapists. Yeah. Much cheaper. It's there all the time. And it's in your root. It's in your tradition. You understand? And the temple doesn't speak to you, right?
Yeah.
And that's really good. That's really, really good. And you know, you can do whatever you like, pray, do whatever. It's so good. I think, please tell your friends, do it more. Okay.
Thank you, Rinpoche. I know time is really constrained, but we received 1 question online that I think I should ask because it really echoed the theme of today's event. The question is life like a movie in the perspective of Buddhist teachings?
Yes, I think so, because Buddhism always uses mirage, magic, reflection as an example of life. And I guess film is something like that. So try to edit your film properly, the film, your life. Always edit properly. Okay.
Thank you, Rinpoche. And as we come close to the lecture, I would like to actually invite Dr. Master Lee, who is the lecturer at Hong Kong Baptist University, because he's the instructor for many students here, to say a few words.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, I prepared a little speech for the conclusion. And first of all, thank you, Rinpoche, for illuminating the peak at the crossing, as well as the wisdom you shared with us this afternoon. So to me, this is a film that makes us walk the bardo, the in-between world, where life memory choices and consequences meet. And in our adaptation and rewriting class, we explore how ideas transform, and this afternoon I think we witnessed a master class. And so to me, the Buddhist concepts of impermanence and putting things down in life are not translated but rewritten into this film with imagery and the fragmented memories of dawn, and of course the haunting in-between world. And on a personal note, I married in Bhutan 9 years ago, and I can still carry the memory of this crisp mountain air and quiet forests and simple farmhouses, and of course those gentle dogs wandering around in the streets, but they are only gentle in the day, and at night it's another world. So those memories came back vividly after watching your film. So to the class of adaptation and rewriting, so I hope we can carry forward with what we have seen today, not just as viewers, but as writers, adapters, content creators, and also the translators of ideas. And I hope today's activity can inspire us to cross our own thresholds for story, philosophy, and media. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And once again, on behalf of Center for Translation at Hong Kong Baptist University, I would like to thank you, Rinpoche, again for your kindness and time in giving such an inspiring talk. And we have prepared a souvenir. Hope Rinpoche, you can kindly accept it. I know you'll use different tote bags, so we have one with HKBU logo. And we look forward to hosting you again at HKBU. And thank you very much, Rinpoche, and thank you all for joining us today. And may this experience be a source of profound insight and inspirations in your life, guiding your own stories, and not just on screen, on paper, but throughout your whole life. And thank you again, Rinpoche.